Good evening and welcome to Open Mic, your voice to spirituality and mediumship. My name is Ramsey Chiri. I'm your host and my co host, Tanis Coughlin. Good evening, Tanis.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you all for joining. As always, your feedback and your questions are extremely important to us, and they're part of our, what do you call it? Of our show.
Yes, they play an
Yes,
important role in our show.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Mhm.
So, Tanis, what do you do? We didn't introduce ourselves. As
I
usual,
do
we run into
stuff.
the show.
I do stuff. Okay.
Just
I'm an intuitive energy healer. I am a Celtic shamanic high priestess. So I do ceremonial healing, I do sound healing, I do crystals. I'm a channel, and I'm a galactic ambassador.
welcome to all of these.
I
I'm
do
a
stuff.
psychic medium, NLP practitioner. I do energy healing also. Um, we're
He's a
all
Nocti
energy.
practitioner too.
Pardon?
He said he's a Nocti practitioner too.
And a Nocti practitioner. So it's all in the energy energy field of healing. Oh my God, I lost my chain of thought. But it's all gorgeous. Well, thank you, Foco Poco, for coming in.
Hey, Kitty.
Hello. And Tanis, he loves the.
Oh, thank you. Green is a
Thank
good
you.
color. I like green.
So tonight, we thought we'll talk about, what did we say we'll talk about?
Consciousness and creation.
And creation, yes. So, and of course, as always, the questions are open. We can take any question, even if it doesn't fit within the discussion that we have, but we'll make sure that we fit everything all together and we answer all your questions. So, what is
Hi,
that?
hi,
Go ahead.
hi, Liz.
Oh yes. Sorry, I'm too busy talking.
He's talking to them, I think, instead of
Yes.
us. Just saying.
Hey everyone. Hi Liz. So
Thank
what
you.
happens? What happens when we try to, or we believe that we influence the outcome of certain situations by focusing on it? For example, I'm going to a job interview, and I pray to all the gods and the goddesses and everything that is out there, and burn candles, burn things, and this is for me. This is for me. I have to get it. There are two outcomes. I could get it, or I don't. And the question is, what is our influence, our participation in the process? For example, are we actually influencing it, and how are we influencing it, and what type of effects would it have on someone else? And let's keep it open. Hey Liz, did I get it? Yeah. Are you guys not ready? What does my okay? No, tonight we'll try to do something at the end. We'll see what happens, Liz.
Mhm.
So we're talking about
Mostly,
consciousness
these
and
have mostly been discussions. Like for the
yeah,
most part, the open mic were discussions typically. So for messaging and stuff, we do Wednesday show with Michelle. That's the evening that we do messaging and stuff online. So um, occasionally we'll throw in a few. So we'll see how the discussion goes.
yeah.
But that's not our primary focus for these.
Thank you.
Right?
So Tanis,
Yes, sir.
what do you think of that scenario? For example, going for a job interview and I'm trying to influence the outcome. Do I
Um,
really influence the outcome? What's your take on it?
yes, you can, but we have to believe it. That's the piece. So we can do all of that, and really all of that stuff is for us to adjust our frequencies so that we can attract what needs to be attracted, right? So when we do candle magic, we're putting that vibrational frequency out there to put it in our field so that we attract what we vibrate. So if we believe we are worthy of the job and we do all of our stuff and we raise our vibration to that frequency, then yes, we will attract the job, and that will be the modus operandi. However, oftentimes we don't feel the same way as we would want to. So the feeling is the magnetic piece, right? So your heart is the electro part of it, and the brain is the electro part of it, and the heart is the electromagnetic part of it. So that's what draws it in. So this creates the thing that you want to do, and the heart is what actually draws it in. It's the magnetizing part. So if we don't actually feel the feelings in the heart and actually feel the emotion or feel the worthiness or feel the abundance, it can get in our own way.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. Hold on. I saw somebody. I've really learned into divine timing. You can pray all you want, but if it's not meant to be, it won't.
Well, and that's true too. Some of the best things that happen to us are those unanswered prayers.
Yeah.
Right? So
100%, 100%.
Sometimes we think we want something and it's not really for us.
Yeah.
So, but we don't know that till we get into it, right? So sometimes we'll get it and then we'll be like, why did I want that again? Yeah.
It feels it in our soul, not actually feel it. So a disconnect on what you actually truly want.
There's the piece. So your soul needs to want it. Okay. So that's that connection. And so if you have a soul contract for something else and you want that, but your soul contract is for that, your soul contract is going to win over. So
I also believe, life is flowing. Okay, we can never stop it for anything, not even for a cup of coffee. I know.
Not even coffee?
I know. So life is flowing. It's flowing everywhere. It's moving right, left, and center. And we connect to it. There is this moment of clarity. There is that moment of true connection where I don't want to call it a want, but that attraction to that thing that we're looking at rises from within.
I would like to say desire instead of want.
Desire. That's a good word.
Wanting feels out of lack.
Yeah.
As opposed to desire is just what we would love to see.
Yes.
I don't know. That's what's coming to me anyway.
No. I fully agree with the terminology. Words matter. They do. Mm-hmm. So what happens is that there are certain things that just rises from within. Okay, and I'll tell you a perfect example about me. In 1988, I started getting those nightly thing where it's like, by the way, in 1988, I was living in Lebanon. There was war. There was a lot of things happening. And of course, at night, there's no electricity. So you light a candle and you read Amityville Horror. So you scare yourself to death before going to bed. I did that, by the way. I was like terrified. But
oh my goodness.
I used to get those, it's not really a daydreaming. It's like you project, and at that time in I'm talking about 1988, where these things were not available to us, and I knew nothing about energy or how things are. It just happened. I would project myself into a future in North America with everything that fits a normal life, okay, a house, a car, a job, and so on. And that, because it's not a dream, it's a daydream.
Mhm.
Okay, it's not a dream, it's a daydream that used to rise on its own, and it just like every night, and it builds in. And what used to build is the emotions also along with it. It builds it to a point where when one day I was at home and a friend came and he goes, "Oh, by the way, somebody's going to Cyprus. Do you want something from there?" I go, "Nah, I don't want anything, but hey, could you ask them to bring me an immigration application from the Canadian Embassy?" Although it's just like, just bring it. It's not going to happen. So I fill it up. I put it on the side. Of course, war, there's no mail or anything, so you couldn't mail it. And so it sat on the table until one day another person comes in and he goes, "Oh, I know somebody's going. Do you want something?" I go, "Oh, here's a ticket." And 6 months later, I got called for an interview. And that night, that day when I arrived in Cyprus, at the hotel, there were like a bunch of people. They're all from different parts of Lebanon and Cyprus. And they all got rejected.
Mm.
And they told me, "Don't waste your money. Go back home." And I go, "No, no, no. I already came here. I'm not leaving without my visa. I know it. I'm going to get it." The next morning, I go to an interview. I did all my interviews. I got accepted. I went and did my medical. I got accepted. There's nothing there. Put them all on the file. Within less than a year, I got my immigration papers. Not planned, not stressed. So, did I work it or did life brought it into me? It's like it flowered within me.
Mhm.
The whole idea is like, okay, your time over here has ended. This is your next chapter,
Yeah.
if you so choose. But I decided, I guess, at that point in time to choose the next chapter.
Mhm.
And I started to feed on a nightly basis until all this happened. And by what was it? February 14, 1991, I landed in Montreal.
On
February
Valentine's
or
Day.
March? Oh no, April. Sorry, it was
Oh.
April. April. My apologies. April. I'm trying to remember. April. Yeah. So did I plan it? I don't believe I planned it. I don't believe I put the seed out there. I
No.
believe that, and this is open to everybody, whoever wants to chip in or come in with different ideas, is that I'm on this boat, and this boat is at an intersection, and I had the choice. That's all.
Yeah.
It was like driving me towards the left, and I said, "Okay, I'll go there."
Yeah. That's
I can,
being in flow instead of
yes,
not.
yes. And definitely I could have chosen another road or opportunities, but there were none at that time. But if
Well,
I
the
had
opportunity
other,
was to stay in the
yeah.
in
But I think even if I did choose another opportunity, I would have ended up over here afterwards. Resistance is futile with life.
if it's something that's meant for you, you will not
Yeah,
miss it. Yeah.
absolutely.
I would say that that would probably apply to what I do now too. It was definitely something that was brought to me. It's always something that is, because I kept trying to choose something else and it kept pushing me back
Yeah,
to doing something else, right? So when we're being guided, and the more we can follow that, I think the less resistance we have, the less anxiety, the less pressure that we face, because I think our body reacts when we're not going where we're meant to. And that's kind of the dissonance, I think, between sort of the brain and the soul. So when the soul has a soul contract to do something, it knows where it's going. And that's sort of when we can jump on and be in flow with that, That's great. When the soul wants us to go this way and our head is saying go that way, that's when we get that anxiety, that
Yeah.
piece where it's pulling against each other.
Yeah, I had somebody's message on and I turned it off and I don't know where it is. I think that's the one. Oh, they wanted to know you truly wanted it. That's
Yeah.
why there was that doubt. It possibly is,
Hmm.
but literally it wasn't like, okay, because I always think of this scenario, okay? There's a farmer and there's a bit of drought and he's worried about his crop. So he's gonna pray for the rain. But at the same time, there's a bus of tourists going over there and they want to enjoy the sunshine. Who's going to win and why? So,
Well, the person driving the bus, probably. In the long run. But
that's a good one.
sorry. But if we want to enjoy the sunshine's the way to go as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. So then correction, you think you're going over there, Spirit? I think not.
I think not. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that's how our guides work, right? They want what's best for us.
100%. 100%. And the thing is, we don't realize what best for us is.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're so fixated on the prize that we miss what is good for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree that they know what's best for us and they kind of like, not just a bit. Happened to me no matter what field I tried, research, art, waitress, I kept returning to spiritual counseling with others. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's how it happens.
Yeah.
You end up helping each other.
Yes.
Helping people,
And the thing is, we have to help each other, and that's why they push us into that thing. And with my spiritual career is that it was in my face, bang, bang, bang. No, you have to do this. You have to do this. You have to do this. And I couldn't figure out what I'm doing, but it started to build on its own. And I'm sure the same thing happened to you. It's like you're focused on, let's say, energy healing, Reiki, for example, because I think most of us go into Reiki at the beginning. So go into Reiki and then, okay, fine, it's beautiful, but not sure. And then you end up somewhere else. And then you mix them together. And then something else comes up and so on. And then there's this repertoire or this toolbox that you've created along the way to bring us to where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Facebook user. Hello, Ramsey and Tennis. Hello, Facebook user.
Hello. Who have we got there? Let's take a look.
Hi, Bella.
Hi, Bella. How are you?
And I said there's a Facebook user. Hello, dear brother. All right.
It's Shem. Okay. Hi,
Oh,
Shem.
hey, Shem.
Yeah, I always joke about it being Reiki was my gateway drug to all of this. Right.
Yeah.
That's what Fogo Pogo's saying. Because I got into that first, and then it just led me down many other paths.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel. Hey, Daniel. Oh, long time no see, buddy.
Hey, Daniel.
Thanks for joining in. So Daniel is the person that actually I met in my green days, and he taught me Reiki.
Ah, nice.
So I took my level 1, level 2, level 3, I don't know how many levels, and we kept on training with a larger group.
Yeah.
And he kind of like opened up the way for my for where I am today.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Daniel, because we appreciate that.
So yeah, it's been many years and we're still on the same journey. We all grow in a different way. We flower in a different way, but the flowering that we have, it depends on what are your purpose. Purpose is such a horrible word. I'm going to move away from it. I do apologize. I delete. It depends on what you're here for. Okay,
Your
there's
mission. It's kind of a mission because we kind of get given a direction, like an overall direction, right? That's what the soul contracts do.
Yes, but see, I'm good with. I'm bad with money. What am I saying? But I'm a director of finance. But at the same time,
Don't say anything.
I'm on the energy field also. So I do
Yeah.
two things. So, and what I started to realize is that why I was guided into here is because my world is squarish, pretty square, including myself, and that helps open up our vision to be more fluid, more rigid, rather than rigid in the finance world. So that helps a lot. And maybe that's why I was geared into that. And yours is totally different here from an HR perspective.
Yeah, which is still kind of, there's two sides of HR.
Yeah.
There's the real policy, there's, risk management, which is very like exacting. And there's also the other side that's very like, we have to use our intuition to hire people and read people. And so, my empath stuff helps with that side of.
Oh, Dennis, you got frozen. Okay. So I'll continue until is unfrozen. She's still frozen. So I'm just gonna close this for a bit. Okay. Daniel, I'm here to upscale consciousness and heart. Absolutely. Your contribution, if it was for me or others, is monumental, as we all do. But yours was helped out a lot of people who actually evolved and jumped into that consciousness. Others, we started to do it slowly, and then we started to evolve. It's like the Buddha and 1,000 Buddha after him. So you paved the way, that's the beauty of it all. Thank you, and you said with pleasure. Yes, thank you. By the way, we lost Tanis for some reason. Not sure if it could be electricity, or I don't think she has something in there. But anyways, hopefully she'll get back. I like that. Contribution is a good word instead of purpose. What are we here on earth to contribute? Yes, to contribute with ease and play. Because a purpose is a mission. You have to do something. I have to find my purpose. There is no purpose in life, but the purpose of life is to live it beautifully. But to contribute while you're enjoying life is the essence of it all. Is the essence of it, and I thank you for that, Foucault. So back to our thing. So the rain and the sunshine. I know we moved away from that for a bit, but which one is the right solution? Is it good to get a sunshine and for a bus of tourists to enjoy their vacation for a week, or is it and for the farmer to lose his crops, or for the farmer to gain his crops, and for the tourists to have a miserable week, basically under the umbrella, rather than to enjoy a sunny day? Oh, here is Tanis. Oh, I lost her. I got her back.
Hola. Yeah, our internet is being very intermittent these
Oh.
days. Sorry, guys.
So, what I was saying is that is it better to have rain for farmer to be able to water his crop, and for the tourist to have a miserable week of vacation, or the other way around, have a good week of vacation and for the farmer to lose his crop? And the answer is very simple. It's neither.
It should be a combination.
It's whatever path you are on as a collective within life, the outcome is there. For example, if it is for the farmer to water his crops and be able to feed 10,000 people, then that's the way it's going to go. But if the farmer was supposed to lose his crop and lose his land and then go do something else and gain a better life doing something else, then that's what's going to happen. So we don't know what it is. And yes, when you say a combination of both is kind of true, because we're not sure where it falls. And we can't play with life, or we can't, direct life on where to go, or try to assess where it's supposed to go. So we have to flow with it.
Mm-hmm. If we flow, it's certainly easier.
Yes. And yes, it is, it is a divine purpose.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what we say, is that it depends on life, what we're supposed to take you. And it might take the farmer out of the land and put him somewhere else for a better life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then those tourists will have a great week bathing in the sun. So we do not know where it's supposed to go. And if the farmer is meant to lose his crops, there's be a lesson to be learned to be it. This terrain lesson so to be it. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So now, for the tourist, oh please don't be a whiner. Just go enjoy life, even if it's raining outside. I remember my daughter was, I don't know, 7, 6, I can't remember. So it's the first time we took her to Dominican Republic, and we're like all excited. You see the pictures of the pool and the sun and everything, and it was like February, miserable over here and all of that, the snow. And she got so excited, and we arrived there, and the first day it bloody rained, and it was strong. And of course, as a child, you don't realize what's happening, and then she's miserable and she's crying and so on and so forth. I go, but what is it? Put on your bathing suit. So I took her in her bathing suit, and we went to the pool, and we swam.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it a fun day. Okay, we didn't stay all day long, but we stayed a bit for the kid to enjoy herself in the water and have fun, to talk about like, oh, we swam in the rain. So we did all these activities, and afterwards we did some activities in the room or outside the room, like we played cards and so on and so forth. So there's always ways to capitalize on what is happening. Yes. And enjoy the time, even if it's not up to your, I don't want to say expectation, but it is expectation.
Yeah, if it's not what you expect. Just because it's not what you expect doesn't mean you can't enjoy it.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Say, I think we can control. I'm learning this. Yes, we control nothing. Nothing.
Only our thoughts.
I hope, because some people don't control that either, and they go.
Well, some people, they can't control their thoughts or their mouth. Yeah. From time to time. But we like to encourage people to control their thoughts, anyways.
Oh, I love that. Rain as a tourist can sometimes be great. In Ireland, it sets the mood, teaches patience, or to get creative with things to do. Yes, that's exactly that's the message we're trying to relay. It's beautifully worded. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Buddha said life is like a. I think it was the Buddha said that life is like a river. You just have to flow with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to push yourself around, try to get to the side of the on the bank, and the water will start hitting you against the rocks and so on. That's when you suffer. But when you just flow with it, okay, it's not rapid water and there is no fall. Just caveat there.
Safety first, please. Even in our visuals.
We flow with life. We flow with it. We adjust to it. We move around, and we make it feel.
That's exactly what came to mind for me.
Well.
Life is like a box of chocolates
Oh,
from Forrest Gump. That was
yeah.
exactly what came to mind. He said, life is like, I almost interrupted him and said, a box of chocolates. Kaylee and I were on the same wavelength.
Hey, Sharon. I think this
How's
is
it going? Yes, we have to just flow with the river because
Yes.
it's way too tiring to try and swim upriver.
To swim against the current is useless. Actually, you can get there. Hey, don't get me wrong. You can get there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's bloody hard. And what are you gonna gain out of it? Basically nothing. Because one, you're gonna feel the stress of life. Two, the stress that you're in is gonna poison yourself and the environment you're in, and that is gonna have a ripple effect across. So, is it worth it? Not sure,
It's
but
exhausting.
it is exhausting. It is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was this one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was haha. No, sorry, that is the wrong one.
So, how do we make decisions so that we know we're going to go flow with the river?
Decisions. Okay, after years and years, and getting closer to the end. Oh, come on.
You're not 90.
I'm not a spring chicken either. So
Oh, we got lots of years left, you and I. We're good.
through my years of experience, okay, and like I said, I'm from a finance background. I'm very squarish. So I weigh the rights and the wrongs, and I make a decision. Today, I don't use that anymore. I feel my way through the crowd.
And how do you do that?
I just and some okay. Let me rephrase. If you have a control over your mind, okay, which means the
Your
mind,
mouth. Just say.
which your mind. I was gonna say your mouth is not directing, where your mind is not directing your decisions. Then you can easily close your eyes and flow with it. You can easily make a decision, and that does not mean that you're gonna get it. It doesn't mean that the outcome is gonna be what you planned for. All it means, he looks pretty blubbish.
You said you were square.
I'm not as
He looks
square as
humanoid to me, not square.
So, yes, if your mind is not taking over, you can easily feel through the decision.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me the other day, oh, look, I think cryptocurrency is really good. And I go, I don't know. It's not for me. I know nothing about it. But there was one time when I said, this is for me.
Mm-hmm.
I invested a bit and I made money out of it. And I walked out. I tried to be a smart finance person. After it, I lost money on it. And with these experiences is that when it feels good, it comes up, it pops up. Um, Tesla one day popped up, and I went into it, and then it went up 5%. I took my money out. It went up. It continued. It didn't matter. I wasn't looking for richness or long term. It's just like there's something that says go in, go out, and you're done. And I do in and out, and I'm done. If I don't listen, I'm done.
Then you lose money.
Yes, then I lose money. So the intuition that you're talking about is what drives, but the intuition is a feeling more than anything else. It's something that radiates. It's like, yes, this is the one.
So do you feel it in your body?
I feel it in my body, yes. And sometimes it's just, there is no feeling. It's just like, yeah.
It's like a certainty. This
Yes.
is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had that too. I'm taking a class right now. And when a friend of mine asked me to do the class, it was like, yep.
Yeah.
And usually if it's not a yes, my first question is, okay, how much is it? And in this case, it was like, yep. It was, that was the first thing that came out. So that's usually how I kind of know with things. If it's a yes, you know.
Yes, it's like my mediumship class.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I found it. I really don't know. Imagine I'm registering for a mediumship class in Europe that is given at 3 a.m. Saturday morning,
Crazy.
Montreal time. 3 a.m. 3 plus 6 is 9. Yeah, they used to do a 9 because it's not. UK was 5 hours, and then she's Amsterdam. That's the place, Amsterdam.
Oh wow.
So
3 a.m.
Yes.
And you did this for a long time. You did it for like 2 years or something, didn't you?
Yeah, 2 years. Now the thing is, I didn't even think about it. I didn't look at the time. I did not look at the cost of the course. I said, "This is it." I registered. Yeah.
I did that again with a class this past week. An Arcturian healing class came up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to do that," and so I signed up because it's part of the Galactic Shaman program that I'm supposed to be delivering.
Yeah,
and I just knew, so I signed up.
But you did not sit and plan 3 years before that you need to do all these things to get you to where you are today, to make X amount of dollars, to get in a corner office, or to have a YouTube channel, or to be co-hosting. No. Or no.
These opportunities just presented themselves.
Yes.
They just happen. And then you just say yes.
You flow with whatever comes.
Yeah. A wise friend of mine, Jeff Pulver, I was talking to him one day, and I was asking if there was, he's an intuitive. So I was asking, is there anything that I need to know about business? And he's like, you need to just say yes. I said, what do you mean? Well, there was something that you said no to, and you just need to say yes. When something comes to you, you say yes. If it feels right, you say yes.
Yeah.
And he was right. And as soon as he said that, the opportunity presented itself to me again. The person texted me out of the blue. And I was like, okay, I'm supposed to say yes to you.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay. And I am going to start a new program on a new network. Yeah. That's awesome. So I'm excited about that. And so stay tuned for more details. We have to finalize some things.
Yes. These are a small infomercial. That's fine.
It's a taste.
But the thing is, and it just presents itself.
Yeah.
You know, people struggle to get into the flow because, you know, they start selling the flow and your mission and purpose in life and all these and by the way, I did take a 6-month course and to find my life purpose. And I walked in confused and walked out more confused than I walked in.
And wrong teacher.
And when I realized, that's when I realized there is no life purpose. Our purpose in life is one, to walk each other home.
Yes.
And whatever manifests along the path is what we're supposed to do within our life purpose of walking each other home.
Yes.
And that's it. There's nothing more. So, yes, I would love to have a big house. Yes, I would love to drive a fancy car. And yes, but it doesn't matter. They're transient anyway.
Yeah.
Do I really need a big house? I don't. A small apartment is fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually not fine. It's enough. It's enough. And then who was it? That bloody millionaire. What's his name? Hathaway. Anyways, he's a billionaire.
Okay.
Pardon?
Okay.
But I hate it. I can see his picture. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. Oh, for heaven's sake. Anyways,
Branson? Richard Branson?
No.
Elon Musk?
No, he does trading and stocks and stuff, and he has a major company. And actually, the board of directors of his company forced him to buy a new car at one point in time because it was driving a 1950 whatever car that was falling apart. And to him, in one of his talks, actually, he was talking to students. He goes, "I could sit at a McDonald's with you. Okay. You eat your McDonald's for $10 and I eat mine for $20. It's still food. Like you eat it and it's over." I said, "You're wearing a T-shirt and I'm wearing a suit. Your T-shirt looks better on you than the suit looks on me, and mine could be a bit more expensive. I live in a small house, me and my wife, and they've been living in that since they got married, before he became a billionaire, and he's still living in that place. Here's a mansion of 10 rooms. What am I going to do with them? Just for people to go clean them? And the money that I'm going to spend on heating and security, because now I'm worried about people walking in, stealing something in the house or breaking in and entering. There's nobody wants anything from my house because it's all old."
As old as his marriage.
And he still reads the paper every morning and looks at the stocks and makes sure things are right. And he's on the board of directors. He's like 90 and he's still going. We don't need any of these things. That's what I was trying to get to. So we don't need, it's just, it is presented to us through media that, oh my God, this is the beauty. Look, I have a pool. Okay, well, a lot of people have pools and sometimes they barely use it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I don't have a pool and I'm okay with it. I'll go outside and throw some water on myself and we're done. If it's that hard.
We could have a water gun fight.
Yes. So, see, somebody wrote something else. I had that happen in university. Walked into class right away. I hated the teacher. Ended up failing the class. We took it with a different teacher, and while I struggled, I did end up passing. Yes, this is actually a great example because if our energies don't align with whoever it is, just walk out. There's nothing wrong with it.
And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with anybody in the situation.
No.
Because it's just a resonance thing.
Because that teacher will resonate with other students better.
Yeah.
And I tell them there were bosses that, well, actually, I never had. Did I? No, I never had a problem. But I had one problem with one colleague that was in. And there was a lot of conflict. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of things. And at the end, he just walked away. He left the company. Mm-hmm. And the person just left the company. Not because I pushed anybody out. It's just my path was here and their path was somewhere else. Mm-hmm. They tried to push. I stayed in my place and then they move away. So if you have a teacher like that, it's okay to drop the class and take it some other time.
Yeah.
Taught me.
Hi, Twisted Sushi. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, it told you to
Yeah.
listen to your intuition. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello, hello. So yes, life is
Like a box of chocolates.
like a box of chocolate. No, life is kind of interesting, and as humans, we overanalyze and over
For sure.
do everything to a point where it becomes hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I don't want to blame anybody for over analyzing, because I was like the worst, the worst. But
I think we all still have our moments, you know, when we overanalyze things, or we have to sort of think, wait, that's an old program. We
yeah,
need to get rid of that old program.
and there's also the collective.
Yeah.
The collective, and it is very important for us to understand this. The collective plays a huge role with how we deal with certain situations.
Yeah.
And okay, I went to New York one time, and I saw this lady with two girls, or two boys, I can't remember. They're on the street, and they were trying to sell candies. I don't know, it's not like they were homeless. It's just they're trying to make an extra buck here and there. And I said, okay, fine. I don't want the candy. I'll just take it from the kid. Then the kid will get $1 and whatever it is. And the lady attacked me, is like, oh no, you have to buy the second one from the other child. And
No.
I, I bought the other one, and I walked away, and I go, my God, the city had changed those people. The essence, the purity of them just died within the hustle of the whole city that is buzzing, and you're not sure where you stand. As a tourist, I love New York. I go over there, I flow with the energy. It's just insane. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what would happen to me, or how I would transform if I stayed living in Manhattan for a long period of time.
Well, people get into fear.
Mm.
And the fear is that heavy energy that you're talking about. So our natural state is love. So when we end up in a place that's full of fear, we get weighted down by that energy.
Yeah.
The energy of fear. And that's sounds like that's what happened, right? She's stuck in the fear of lack.
Yes.
And so she needed to create fear in you to satisfy her own fear of lack.
Yes.
Right. Fear is a bit contagious. But guess what, folks? So is love. So let's choose that one. Yes.
There was a thing at the airport which I took a picture of a while back. It said, love for other people what you love for yourself. But it's written in 3 languages, and one language is Arabic. It said, love others. That's it. Just this 2 words. Love others. And that's part of life.
Mm-hmm.
Not because of envy or the need to gain something out of your love to others. It's just, like you said, that's our natural being.
Yeah.
If you allow it to flow, it actually enrobes you. Because there is no reciprocation. Love never asks for reciprocation. It just is.
Yeah. Did you put your phone in front of your microphone?
I did look, yes. It did interfere. Okay?
Yes, it did. Yeah,
Okay.
It's good now. Okay. We have a couple of comments here for sure from Fogo Poco. It's like the different dimensions. Humans are in survival fear. It's a lower energetic dimension.
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the 3D, is that lower dimension. Right? And when we can pull ourselves out of that, then we can switch ourselves into that 4D mindset, the 4D consciousness energy. All we can do is help and try and change influence the best that we can. We can't even do that. We can't really, essentially, we can't influence other people. We all have to make our own decisions. We all have to just radiate the love within. So we're not really influencing others. It's not really our responsibility to change others. We're not responsible for other people's actions or reactions. We're only responsible for our own actions and reactions.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we're responsible for.
And Ramdas summed it beautifully when he said, I can do nothing for you other than to work on myself. Mm-hmm. And you can do nothing for me other than you working on yourself. That's all.
Yeah.
By changing ourselves and allowing love to radiate without hinders or obstacles or emotions or anything like that. But the true love. Love is not an emotion, by the way.
It's an energy.
Love is our true essence, which is the energy that flows within us. If you're talking about a love emotion, I love you, make me dinner, then that's not the true love.
It's love and affection and admiration in that sense, but it's not unconditional love usually.
Yeah. The unconditional is our true essence. So when you work on yourself, you let that come out. Mm-hmm. That comes out, like Dana said, is contagious. Mm-hmm. It spreads like wildfire. And that's what we need to do.
Because high vibration, the physics law, you put on with a low vibration, and the low vibration raises. So you put love, and all of the low vibrations are going to raise. That's physics. Yes, that would be accurate. Yes, this one. Influenced by pouring out that higher energy. Yes. It's influenced by exhibiting the higher energy. By being the higher energy. Right? We reflect the higher energy back at others. But it's ours to reflect. Does that make sense? They just gave me that. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's ours to reflect. So it's when it's within us. So we're reflecting it out. We're not pushing it out. It's just reflecting out.
Yes. And for those of you who don't hear things or don't get messages, you do get messages. You might not be aware of them, that you're getting them. You might think they're part of you, and they could be, because they are part of you. You know?
Because we're all part of each other. We're all one.
So we need to keep our mind open. Not open, but just a bit quiet also. See, when we're talking about the mind and the high vibration or low vibration, it's like your backyard. You know, if you let it grow, you're going to have all kinds of weeds and poison ivy and stuff like that growing in there. You're not taking care of it. So it's easy for it to grow. But when you take care of it and you clean it up and make sure everything is right, and you put fertilizer for the grass and the flowers and so on, you get the right mix of things that are growing. So you're not allowing it to just flow on its own. Because once you have a stagnant water, everything else comes to it. So it becomes worse over time. Mm-hmm. So allow things to get worse. They just build up. Then you'll have this layer which is thick enough.
Sketch.
That will take time for you to be able to clear it. And a lot of us, we kind of like get drifted into that to the point we can't see the light anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's good to keep on clearing and practice good mental, good energetic hygiene. Is not mental, it's energetic,
Energetic.
and making sure that whatever you think about, whatever you watch, whatever you talk about, they're all on a positive vibration.
Yep.
All of them. Because sometimes what we don't realize is we just start talking and it's like, oh, yes, that person is this and that. I know them from before.
We can get caught in that because we're human.
Yes.
Right? But
keep an eye on what comes in and out.
Control the thoughts, control the mouth. So yes, Twisted Sushi says, just like Reiki, it goes where it's needed without pushing or draining anyone. Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. Yeah.
I always tell my students that if you are tired after giving a Reiki session, then you're trying to push. And it's not Reiki. Reiki is pure life force energy channeling through. So Fogo Pogo says, so true. And which one of us was Metatron talking through, Kaylee? Because we've both been channeling a fair bit. As usual.
We'll wait for the answer.
Oh, me.
You're guilty.
I'm guilty of that. I don't feel guilty, though. Not at all.
So, like a child, keep your curiosity out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because a child does not judge something, they're intrigued by it. And that's what differentiates that stage of life from the other stages of life. Because we become harder and then we start knowing things without actually knowing things. So be intrigued.
Yeah.
It just keeps reinforcing the message. I don't mind. Oh.
Yeah.
So we're coming to an end of the hour. My God, this hour passed really fast. And I thank you all for being part of it. Really, that was awesome. And as usual, these shows are not prepared for. It's not rehearsed. It's live. It's really live. So when we mess up, we really mess up. But we haven't.
And I only ever find out what it is before I start. He gives me like 2 phrases before we start, and I'm like, okay, let's do it.
These are the phrases that I get them like 2 minutes before she gets on there.
The guides really need to work on their timing. I think it's meant to be spontaneous.
Yes, and I love that because there's a lot of nuggets that comes out without even thinking about them. They're just there. They're just there. And I'm sure every time we do something like that, we we sprinkle a bit of joy somewhere with somebody along the way.
This is true.
Yeah.
As is this.
And if you're channeling, you don't remember what you said. Anyways, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I just have to have trust. That's what we have to do, is we just trust what comes out of our mouth.
No, but hey, we have a green field. We've been working on that field for such a long time.
Yes.
So it usually comes in with a positive intention, whatever it is, always.
Yeah, please know that we never have a negative intention coming on here. Yep. We're always here with an open heart to bring through whatever Spirit wants to bring through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So. And on that note, keep an eye for Tanis and her new show.
Yes. We've got lots happening. We have a class tomorrow. So Gary is teaching the flower essence class tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Which is a long-awaited class. It'll be fun. All those Bach flowers and how you can use them in your life for healing.
Mm-hmm.
And what else we got going on? We got Twillo Talk on Monday. We got Wednesday with Michelle. Stay tuned for more details about our retreat that's coming up. So that's coming out soon. And thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
And
Yeah.
on that note, we thank you all, and we'll
Send
see
you
you
love.
in 2 weeks.
We
I
send
get
you
it.
love.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great weekend and enjoy life as it flows. Thank you.